my life. Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became a mom of 12 beautiful children. Children didn't hear me. I said 12 children.
You said 12 children. You guys. Yay! Yay! Mommy, pregnant! Yay! You're pregnant! Mom, I knew it! Mom, you're pregnant! No, Mom, no! Mom, you're gonna have children. Wait, no!
I don't know what I'm gonna have, but yes, I'm pregnant.
Mom! Give me it. No way! You're pregnant!
Yes, I needed to
I
get
know,
it out.
I saw your stomach on that. Mom, can you tell us?
I just told you.
You don't look like you're pregnant. You're too skinny.
Come on, baby.
You said you were on your period!
I thought I was. I thought I was. I'm not joking. I thought I was.
You can tell Dad.
Yeah,
You're pregnant!
Life got flipped. Children didn't hear me. I said 12 children.
You said 12 children. You guys. Yay! Yay! Mommy, pregnant! Yay! You're pregnant! Mom, I knew it! Mom, you're pregnant! No, Mom, no! Mom, you're gonna have children. Wait, no!
I don't know what I'm gonna have, but yes, I'm pregnant.
Give me it. No way! You're pregnant!
Yes, I needed to
I
get it
know,
out.
I saw your stomach on that. Mom!
And some of y'all will watch that video and be like, who cares? Who cares? She can have as many kids as she wants. No matter how many kids she has, doesn't mean you can't be a good parent. You cannot be a good parent with 12 children. Look at the two oldest children's face. What does that tell you? They're sick and tired of her being fucking pregnant. If you're constantly in a state of pregnancy or postpartum, look at the babies on her lap. Look at the babies on her lap. She just last year, 2024, February, she had another pregnancy announcement and the daughter had the exact same face. The daughter was tired of her shit then, and then she went and turned around and got pregnant. As a parent, if you do not care enough about your children to care about the household that you are creating for them, they're sick of having more fucking siblings. Because it could mean a few things, right? It could mean a few things. One, they do not feel as though they're getting enough attention, love, and affection, which I would think is extremely valid considering there's 11 kids. 11 kids of varying ages and sizes, and I guarantee you that oldest is putting in a lot of work. She's a third parent. She's a third parent. And that boy, look at his face. They're both pissed. And they're trying their hardest to compose themselves because they are on camera and they are aware that that is a source of income for their family of 12 kids. Actually, 12 kids, 14 people. They know that that is a source of income for 14 fucking people. And they're trying to keep their composure as to not ruin the video. But as children, they can only hold back so much. This is what I mean when I talk about selfish. Selfish. They're not doing it so that they can raise good kids. It's a kink. At this point, it's a kink. It's a weird fetish. Because when you are pregnant, right? Your emotions are all over the place. You can never fully be present because you're creating life. And if you're constantly in a state of pregnancy or postpartum, it takes your brain 2 years to recover from pregnancy. And if you never recover from pregnancy, and I don't know what the daddy do. I don't know if he does anything or social media is their only source of income. But if he's out the house and he is working, you can't be a good parent with 12 kids. You cannot be a good parent with 12 kids. I don't care. don't care. I don't care how much money they have. I don't care if you have nannies, because if you have nannies, you yourself, the person who decided to have these children, are not able to raise these children and give them the love and affection and attention that they need. She just had a baby. She just had a baby. Look, the children are fed up. And if the children that live in the home are like, that's fucking enough, should that not be enough? Or do they not get a say-so in the household that they're being raised into? Y'all forget these are people. These kids are human beings. They're human beings. And they matter. Their opinions matter. Their feelings matter.
I mean, if I had to be in that constant need to be pregnant and the constant need for support, and where does the support come from? Me, your daughter, the eldest one, and the other ones coming after me. do, 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 do. I'll do that. I'll be like, do, walking out. Because I get to understand, and maybe that's their source of income. That's why they are right. So that's why they're like that. Maybe that they don't want to say anything because, again, being raised in a Christian home, because that's what the people are saying. I'm gonna put the stage. I don't wanna talk too much, but I'm gonna put a lot of reaction from the people, so you guys get to see what people are feeling. Like, this is way too much unnecessarily. Let's put the kids into consideration when we do things like that. And I feel like the kids are not put as a priority thoughts. I feel like she's getting addicted to creating life. She probably wanted a big family, and we don't know the ins and out, the dynamics of their family structure. We don't know it. And it's just strange, like really strange for me thinking about it. It's just, yeah, I'm just, yeah, shocked and like, I don't know, like, all the best with the pregnancy. Like, things are just going on in America, which is strange right now, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm about to take my bow now.
Word of the day is parentification. That's when children, usually girls, are expected to take on adult responsibilities before they're ready, like way before they're ready. So they're changing diapers, they doing homework with the kids, the younger ones. They're cooking meals, they are cleaning the house. And let's be real, they're also probably helping raise every sibling that's born after them. And in families like this, really large, religious, like homeschooled centered families, parentification is bound to happen. And they'll tell these kids and they'll tell other parents that this is going to help build character or teach discipline. But what it really does is it robs the older kids of their childhood. And you can tell by the expression on the older kids' faces, especially the oldest girls, no matter what the mom was trying to say, that wasn't joy, that wasn't excitement, they were pissed. And a lot of the internet is going to see that video and still say, oh my gosh, you're such a wholesome family. Wholesome for who? Let your kids be kids, not co-parents, not second moms. Just kids. So yeah, congrats on baby number 12 or whatever. But if your big kids look like they need a vacation every time you announce another pregnancy, that is not God's blessing. That's a fucking red flag.
I have been keeping up with the Collins family for years, 7-8 years maybe. Here are some of the weird things about her. First of all, 12 kids. She does not celebrate birthdays, and she does not celebrate Christmas. She doesn't believe in oral. She thinks it's sinful, even with your husband. Like, the marriage bed is undefiled, you know, I guess not to her. She believes in no form of birth control at all, including pulling out. Almost died giving birth, and yet she still has made it clear she won't stop, right? Because her children are always injured and or filthy, you know. She said something along the lines of her husband, Mandre. She's like, he doesn't know his strength, and he's like a really big dude. And that's pretty scary, right? Like, what is that implying? That he's like hurting her, right? Or the kids? She is fully, I think, someone that's been in religious psychosis for a long time. Like, the things she says and does just make very little sense. There's so much more of her lore. I could talk about it, but it's oh god. She also bleaches her kids' hair and edits their skin tones to look lighter. She has this like hyper fixation with her kids being light skinned. I don't know. I'm learning that more and more white women really have this hyper fixation with black men. Like, wanting mixed babies. I don't know. It's just weird. I keep seeing it more and more. You know, like how Stephanie Jenkins talked about like her black king and all that stuff, and she wants his like genes. It's very weird.
There is something wrong with having 12 kids in 15 years, because there's a family in this app called the Collins family, and they already have 11 kids, and the oldest daughter is only 15 years old, and the mom made a video telling her kids that she's pregnant again, and the oldest daughter looks so unhappy because you could tell she's probably thinking, damn, I'm gonna be the one who has to parent this child. Like, it's negligent to your oldest children to keep having so many kids, because in a lot of these situations where you have a lot of, kids, the oldest siblings are the ones who are the parents to the younger siblings. Because when you have that many kids as a parent, you can't give your equal time to every single child. So you know what happens? It's the oldest kid who has to, take on the responsibility of being the second parent, and it's just a responsibility that they shouldn't have. And I just feel bad for the older siblings, because it's something they didn't sign up for, that they're being forced to do, and there's no way out of it. And like, I understand it's family, they're gonna step up for it, but that doesn't mean it's right for them to have to take on all these responsibilities when they also are still a child. And I really don't care if you can afford to have 12 kids. Hell, you could be a billionaire and have 40 kids. It wouldn't make a difference in the fact that your oldest sibling shouldn't be the one taking care of your younger siblings as a parent figure.
The lady that just announced that she's having her 12th child, I said that right. Her 12th child, she is having that baby out of necessity, not out of luxury.
Now, when you just think 12 kids is bad, you should hear the history on this whole entire family. Now, mind you, I felt bad seeing the older kid's reaction when the mom was like, yeah, we're having another baby. Because really, who's watching all these kids? Especially when they're portrayed like, oh my god, we're going out. And there's no kids around. I'm like, who's watching these kids? So as I'm diving into the comments, someone's like, you should check out their Reddit. And I'm like, their Reddit? Yes, their Reddit. Now, I'm gonna say this is all allegedly, but let's just read. This one says, she's a believer in scream praying and has been kicked out of hospitals for doing this. Now, mind you, I'm like, what is scream praying? Like, when she's in the hospital, her kid's in the hospital, she starts screaming while she's praying. Also, she also advocates hard fasting during pregnancy, and as of recently, no prenatal care, OBGYN, checkups, vitamin K, vaccination, or those shots. And I believe she had a theory that God sent her a vision to have her baby in Target. But then it gets to the injuries of her kid. I'm not talking about normal injuries. I'm talking about like serious injury. And I believe she posted this on her own page. She was healed of MS. She later says one of her kid's hands was broken completely in two, and after fasting and praying together, it healed completely. One of her kids was healed in the womb from death. Another one had several bald spots, healed by God. One of them had 2 broken wrists, healed by God. Another one, broken leg. Another one, healed from death in the ICU. They've been provided fully after quitting their jobs in faith. A supernatural pain-free birth. And this one was just crazy. It was like, oh, but wait, how about when she had a miscarriage but didn't want to acknowledge it and made the kids pray over her stomach for weeks to resurrect the fetus? And one of her youngest having sepsis? In my mind, I'm like, this can't get any worse. Some people say she makes her kids sleep in daytime clothes to save on laundry. She also does about 30 to 40 minutes of school day whenever it fits, but schedules times to make reels. She lightens her kids' skin in photos to make them look more Caucasian, because people are commenting that her kids are not as intelligent, saying her oldest daughter is really low reading and spelling level. Someone who knows language development explained it better, but this child spells pretty as prite. Someone else is saying she also didn't know what year it was when quiz, or who the president was, which is fine when you're 5 or 8 or even 10, but by 13 you should know, unless you're being failed educationally in a pretty damn major way.